I'm hearing more and more people say the level of violence on video games is really shaping young people's thoughts. Video games, they're so violent. It's really shaping young people's thoughts.
So the idea behind video games is that a lot of the research can show that there is what we call an increase in aggression, an aggressive like mental psyche state, but it doesn't necessarily translate to violence in a sense. So aggression is like the equivalence of being frustrated at a goal or at a task, and something along those lines really kind of comes into play when we feel aggressive towards a frustration task within the game itself. So the more aggressive that they are before playing the game, the more aggression that tends to kind of come out. If you saw my client list, you'd actually see it's really roughly about a 50-50 split of girls playing games and boys playing games. One of the big things I think that we're seeing in the research with girls and this stuff is sometimes they don't feel like they can actually like use their voice. Sometimes the online world is not necessarily as open as we would like to imagine it is, but it's also about having the girls kind of speak up for themselves in a lot of ways, and being able to say like, yeah, so what, I'm a girl, I just beat your butt in a PvP match. So video games themselves actually can teach you a lot about rules, boundaries, narratives, a lot of stuff of what we can connect to. It's a place for forming of the boundaries. It's a place to kind of like teach us the rules of the environment of that specific game. Those rules actually can actually be pulled out very easily and kind of informed and inspire the individual to take up those same rules and regulations inside of their own sense of self in a lot of different ways. I would say that it's not necessarily an accurate representation of them, because the online life or a virtual life does again have those types of meaning for them, and it can create social connectiveness. There are definitely some video games that I would put into that context of an artful masterpiece, and some of them that I wouldn't necessarily. But it also depends on, some of them are graphically wise are just amazing to look at, and you're like, this is just beautiful, the way that they have crafted this world in there. And others, it's not necessarily about the graphics, but it's about the storyline. And so that storyline itself is a literature object. It's what we'd call kind of like a geek cultural artifact.